All right, so we are here on the third episode of Miracle Fasting with Dr. Pratiksha. Welcome, Dr. Pratiksha.
Thank you. Hello, friends.
Okay, now it brings us to another question. Who can do fasting and what kind of fasting? In the previous episode, you were mentioning Vata, Pitta, Kapha, like this. Can you just explain a little bit? What does it mean, all these things?
Okay. Yeah, like it is very important if you know, if you want to do fasting according to the Ayurveda perspective, it is very important you to know what is this Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So Vata, Pitta, Kapha, they are the, I can say, the energy principles surrounded us and they are within us.
Mhm.
So Vata is like, it is made up of, five elements in the nature.
Mm.
That's water, earth, fire, air, sky. These are the five elements we have. So these three Vata, Pitta, Kapha, they are made up of all these five elements.
Mhm.
So like first one is Vata, we say. It is made up of the sky and the air. So
Mm.
just imagine the air principle, moving, always moving, very light.
Mm.
So that is Vata. What is Pitta? Pitta is made up of the fire principle. It is said the fire, digestion, transformation. That is the
Mm.
fire. And Kapha is the principle of water, we say, which is made up of the water and earth.
Yes.
So these are in general, I can say the air principle, the water principle, and the fire principle. These are called Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
Okay.
So in Ayurveda, it is said like there is something called the constitution or the Prakriti.
Mhm.
So each individual, like how our fingerprint is made, it is like same throughout our life. Same way the Prakriti, the constitution is decided at the type of conception
Uh-huh.
and it remains same throughout your life till
Mhm.
you die.
Yeah.
And if you know your constitution, whether you're Vata, whether you're Pitta, whether you're Kapha, means there are seven types of constitution told in Ayurveda. If you know your constitution, it is very easy to suggest the select the type of fasting for yourself.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
So I would say like Vata. Suppose you are a person of Vata constitution.
Yeah.
Then your body will be like thin. Your digestion is like digestive fire in the Vata is like irregular. You can say
Mm.
sometimes they feel hungry, sometimes they will not feel hungry.
Mm.
Sometimes body will digest, sometimes body will not digest.
Mm.
In Vata especially, too much fasting, long term fasting is not recommended
Yes.
because
Yes.
I told you with
Mm.
the Vata, too much of fasting it can increase the Vata.
Vata. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So if a person of Vata, if he wants to do the fasting, how he can do? He can do the fasting with the sweet, on the
Uh-huh.
sweet, natural sweet, not like the sugar and
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
So
Like
with the
fruits
fruits,
and
sweet,
yeah.
sweet fruits, sweet nuts,
Yeah.
milk,
Yeah.
or the with the hot, something hot, cooked, hot,
Yeah.
like the soup
Yeah.
from the green gram with the ghee,
Yeah.
or you can say the coconut water, which is very sweet in taste.
Yeah.
So with these things, if a person, Vata person can do fasting, like not like once a month or during the seasonal changes. When one season is changing, another season is coming during the seasonal changes.
Yes.
So this Vata person can do fasting.
Yes.
So let me explain about the Pitta.
Okay.
Pitta, like I told you, it is a fire.
Mm.
They are like too much of fire. They can digest anything.
Yeah.
So in Pitta person also, long-term fasting is not recommended. They
Yeah.
can do the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Even the fasting for this, they have to use especially the sweet, the
Mm-hmm.
natural sweet,
Yeah.
the bitter,
Yeah.
and the astringent, like the amla. It is a very good, amla is very good. Amla juice, fruit
Yeah.
juice, sweet fruit
Yeah.
juices, pomegranate juices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pitta persons can do fasting on even the khichdi. This is a very good told in Ayurveda.
Yeah.
Khichdi with the rice and the moong dal.
Yeah.
So this is a very good, they can do fasting on khichdi.
Yeah.
Then third constitution is the kapha constitution. And kapha, it is made up of what? Earth and water. It's
Yeah.
a water principle.
Yeah.
They are already have this heaviness.
Mm.
So these persons can do dry fasting
Uh-huh. Okay.
because their digestion is already very weak
Yeah.
and their body is already having that too much of water and earth. So
Yeah.
if they do also this dry fasting, it will not affect them, it will help them.
Uh-huh. Okay.
They can do water fasting also.
Yeah.
Even the tea, fasting on the tea, like ginger tea, lemon tea,
Da. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
So,
Okay. So in India, we fast many times. Like we have weekly fast, monthly fast, fasting before festival, or on auspicious occasion or something like that. What do you recommend for Westerners or maybe for Bulgaria? How they must fast?
wow, this is a good question you asked. Like, I want to tell you, like, in Ayurveda, there is a told about, when a person do fasting, it's like for general people. There is a told in Ayurveda where generally all people can do fasting general.
Yeah.
So that season is the spring.
Okay.
Why spring and why Ayurveda told spring? Because what happened before spring? What is the season? It's winter.
Yeah.
In the winter, what happens? There is coldness, too much
Yeah.
cold outside. So
Yeah.
that because of that, kapha dosha gets accumulated in the
It's very
body. It
high
gets
that time. Yeah.
yeah, accumulated.
Yeah.
But during the spring, what happens? Because the temperature increases
Yeah.
and sun also comes,
Yeah.
starts coming. So it liquefies that dosha, kapha dosha in the body.
Yes.
So when that kapha dosha liquefy, it try to come out from the body. That's why you get more cold, cough during this season,
Yes.
fever.
Yes.
So in the spring season, so to prevent from these problems, Ayurveda has told to do fasting in spring.
Yeah.
And in surprisingly Bulgarian tradition, you have it's Easter is in spring season, and
Absolutely.
and before spring season we have a 40 you have a 40 days fasting.
Yeah.
So which actually falls in the spring season.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So this is the connection of the Bulgarian tradition and Ayurveda.
So basically, the ancient people were very intelligent. They knew what they were doing actually. This
Yeah,
festival is just not for the name of it. There is some reasons for that actually. Yeah.
yeah, correct.
Yeah. Wonderful. Very good explanation actually. So, how often anybody should fast?
Like I told you, suppose if you have a Vata constitution, you
Mhm.
can fast very less, once a month maybe. Or
Yeah.
depends on the when two seasons are changing. When you are changing from winter to spring or from
Yeah.
the spring to summer. So
Yeah.
during that intermediate, the gap between two seasons, you can do Vata person can do this
Yeah.
fasting.
Yeah.
Then Pitta person can do fasting once a week, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, but the type of fasting they should decide. Okay, what they will eat, what they will drink. Okay, it depends on that.
Okay.
And the kapha persons, they can do fasting like even like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, continue, depends on their capacity.
Okay.
So
Okay.
because the purpose of fasting, I told you, like sometimes it can be to depends on the purpose. If it is a religious purpose, the days it will depend. Suppose it is a health purpose, it will depend. So
Mm.
you cannot say like you should do fasting for so many days, you should do fasting for only this particular period. So
Yeah.
it will varies from person to person and depends on purpose to purpose.
Absolutely.
So
So it
yeah,
all
and
it
once
yeah.
yeah.
Continue.
So it is important to have a wish actually. It should be like it should be from inner wish. Your
Yeah.
body actually tells you to do fasting and it will
Yes.
tell you when to stop it.
Yes. Yes.
And even like here I want to add one more point.
Yeah.
What nowadays what is happening is like every day everybody thinks, okay, I will do fasting. Okay, they decide the period. Okay,
Yeah.
and one day before the fasting they eat too much, okay, because tomorrow I'm going to do the fasting, I will eat, okay, and then
Yeah.
they finish the fasting, they do the fasting, okay, they do the proper fasting, and after
Yeah.
the fasting again what they do, they eat again too much, okay, I finished the fasting, I'm very hungry, I want to eat,
Yeah.
which is the totally wrong way.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Because
Okay.
you have to prepare yourself for
Yeah.
fasting first of all.
Yeah.
And how to prepare yourself? You should start with something light,
Mm.
something easy to digest, something liquid, something hot. And
Yes.
then, if you want to do a long term fasting, I'm saying,
Yeah.
so you should prepare yourself first. So,
Okay.
once your body is prepared, your body will not be in a shock of the fasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
But once you finish this, okay,
mm.
once you finish the fasting,
Yeah.
then again, don't give a shock to your body by eating too much heavy food.
Yeah.
You should come to the normal diet slowly.
Yeah.
How slowly? It is like you can again eat something rice gruels, it is told peya in Ayurveda, it is
Yeah.
said peya or rice gruels. Then the soup of the moong,
Yeah.
moong is a green gram, is a very good
Yeah.
lentil.
Yeah.
So that soup,
Yeah.
and slowly you can come to normal diet. So
Yeah.
these are the things you should follow if you are doing a long term fasting.
Uh-huh. So so regarding how often anybody must fast, what you're trying to say, it depends on an individual, their purpose, why they're fasting. Is it religious, spiritual reason, or for losing weight, or for sickness, or whatever? It will depend on all these things. Also, it will depend on what element or what dosha you are in, what is your body constitution, and considering all these facts, you can decide how often should you fast. And you just mentioned that a kapha person can fast more often than the pitta and the vata person. Actually, vata should be barely once in a month. Pitta person can do once in a week. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So vata once in a month is good enough. Pitta once in a week, and for kapha person more often. It's okay, they can manage it. But of course, before you really jump into this, you should always consult an expert who's already doing fasting and who knows about fasting, because
Correct.
as I mentioned before, like one shirt cannot fit all. It is always unique to every person, right? So it brings us to another question, Pratiksha.
Hmm.
For a beginner, what do you recommend? How they must do the fast? Like somebody who's thinking, who's just on the edge, and they just need a little push to really jump into the sea. What do
Hmm.
you recommend them to start with, so they have more confidence to do this actually?
Yeah, it's like for the beginners who's like want to try the fasting or who wants to do the fasting, they can start with something, skipping one meal, I can say.
Uh-huh.
Don't do like complete full day. Okay, they
Uh-huh.
can skip a night meal maybe. It
Yeah.
is a type of fasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, they have to judge their body, they have to judge themselves. Okay, if they when they are not hungry, they don't feel like eating, they can skip the meal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and eating whenever you're feeling hungry is the best way of fasting, I can say.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
Because, and even like they can come to us, we can help them, we can consult them, we can see their prakriti, we see their dosha. Even I said like the level of toxin, it depends on the level of toxins in the body. So we can see how much toxins they are there, and we can recommend them like for the beginners also, for the people who wants to do fasting, how much they can do, on what they can do, what they can eat, what they cannot eat.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So indirectly trying to say like you have to take one step at a time. Don't put pressure on your body. Just
Hmm.
relax. Maybe you can start with one meal fasting for one time, and then slowly, slowly, as you gain confidence, you can add more.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, uh, so I remember that I was in one forum, and one lady was fasting for a couple of days, and immediately the next day when she was supposed to break the fast, she ate chicken and meat. I don't know what not she ate. Very heavy meal after the fasting. It was more from the space of craving. She had a lot of craving for this food actually, and she just I feel she just spoiled the fasting which she did by just having such a heavy meal. Plus, she just disturbed the body completely. This is my understanding about this. But as an Ayurvedic expert, what do you think? How should somebody finish their fast? Vegetarian, fruits, light, heavy meal? What do you recommend?
Yeah, like if you are on complete fasting, suppose like if you're on dry fasting or even if you are doing on light fasting, you should not finish your fasting with this heavy meal, because like imagine when you're doing this fasting, like I told you, your vata will increase. Okay, and if you on top of that, if you eat too much heavy food, the body will not digest that food. It will again lead to indigestion. Again it will lead to what I say amal, like I told you, undigested food, the toxins.
Mm,
Again it will turn into toxins. So if you want to finish your fasting, finish it with some light food. Like I guess example I give you, like something with the cooked thing,
mm,
something cooked, because when you're cooking you're already making it more lighter to digest.
mm,
Vegetables, cook vegetables, cook lentils, cook soups, something liquid.
mm,
Okay, or something rice gruel, something light. Or even with the light fruits,
uh-huh,
or even with some steamed or vegetables.
uh-huh,
Don't jump directly after fasting to something non-vegetarian or something heavy.
mm,
Try to
mm,
do it because you have to make your body comfortable for that normal diet.
mm,
Don't jump directly.
uh-huh.
If you jump directly, it is like a shock to the body.
Yeah, yeah. So, in other words, is during the fasting period, basically our digestion fire becomes low.
Mm.
So, because it's not getting any food to be digested. So, when we put heavy food in the stomach, that time our digestion is not running to its full capacity, which will only create more toxins in the body.
Correct.
Okay, so the whole purpose is lost of the fasting when you just immediately jump into this heavy food.
Yeah, correct.
So if you're doing fasting, be a little more patient and start with something light, as you mentioned just now, cooked vegetables or rice or fruits, sweet foods and things like that, and slowly build up. So maybe first meal or the second meal after the fasting could be lighter, but third meal you can maybe have a little more. Yeah, but generally the first two meals I think should be very light so that the body adapts, adjusts, and the digestion start functioning properly. And the more you give fruits and stuff like that, you'll give more digestion power because the fruits have enzymes which only helps in creating good digestion system actually, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's correct. Very well said.
yeah. So now we understand from Dr. Pratiksha, how you must fast. She's an Ayurvedic expert. She's been practicing fasting herself. She's a yogi by life. She's from India, and I always feel that if you want to take advice about anything, you should take the advice from the people who are doing it. Okay, so if you want to take an advice from fasting, you must take an advice from somebody who's fasting actually. You cannot take advice from somebody who has never done fasting in their life actually. They will not know the process. We have the right person here. I call her Yogi Doctor because she also does a yoga. She also does Ayurveda. It's very rare to find this combination because many times you'll see a doctor but they are not yogi. Or many times you'll see a doctor, you'll see a yogi but not see a doctor in them. So but to have all this combination together in one person is fantastic, and we are very lucky to have Dr. Pratiksha today to share her wisdom and knowledge to make our lives better. So, on behalf of the whole community here, I thank you, Dr. Pratiksha, for your time, for your wisdom, and helping us embark on the journey of fasting and making it worthwhile for us. Thank you very much. And if you want to connect with Dr. Pratiksha for a personal consultation, or you want to talk to her, or you want to get some therapies from her, you can connect her. I will write you an email here. You can write to her, and she'll be more than glad to help you. She lives in Bulgaria now, so you can easily connect and help yourself related to fasting and other matters as well if you want to. So finally, Dr. Pratiksha, do you have anything to say? We are closing the interview.
Yes, first of all, I would like to thank you, Steve, for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to tell all the people like to do a healthy fasting, and may all people achieve the goal, the purpose behind the fasting, may they achieve this. And wish you all a very healthy fasting. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pratiksha. Hari Om. May God bless you, and we'll stay in touch. Thank you very much.